All right, thank you so much. That's one big event that you can take your bets on. Talking about Miss ITV Hot Legs 2023, one event that comes your way at this time of the year. And of course, it has a way of, adding up to the entire year so that you just have a way of enjoying towards the end of the year. All right, so the program is still this morning on ITV with yours sincerely, Evans Sunokoge. So we're going to be looking at the NSC strike, which has entered the second day today. And we understand that the fallout spans all around the NSC president, talking about Comrade AJAERO, who was, mishandled last week in Imo, in Owerri, the Imo State capital. And a few days later, on Saturday to precise, we understand that there was an election. And of course, that election has since been won by the present governor of Imo State, and of course, who stands now as the governor-elect of Imo State. All right, so as at 4 p.m. yesterday, we understand that a total number of about 19 more affiliate bodies of the NSC had to join the strike. So you see that the strike is going to bite harder hours from now, if not already biting harder, if the authorities involved now do not do the needful. When I say the authority involved, we're talking about the NSC and, of course, also the federal government on one side. Then also, as at this morning, we understand that the governor-elect of Imo State now has actually tendered apology to the leadership of NSC. I think that has to do with what the NSC demanded. But the NSC is not too comfortable with this now, because it seems that what they actually need is the presidential intervention. They want the president to intervene, because for the NSC, there is a kind of an impunity that has taken over the narrative of how their president was treated. So for the NSC, they are not too comfortable with this. So until the president, anyway, let me leave that now, because we're going to be having the NSC chairman in Edo State so that we ask him questions whether the apology that Hope Uzodinma of Imo State has tendered, if it's going to make NSC to shed their sword as the strike goes on. Anyway, to look at all this this morning, we are so privileged to have a foremost human rights activist talking about Comrade Emmanuel Obidi, who is the president of Network of Civil Society of Nigeria, NAC. Comrade, you're welcome to the program this morning on ITV.
Good morning. Good morning, Evans, and good morning, viewers.
Okay. And also we have Comrade, Chief Comrade Odion Olaye on a line via the WhatsApp call. He's also going to be joining us on the program so that we can take his reactions concerning the NSC strike. So when we get Comrade Odion Olaye now, we'll just put him on so that we get to meet him, and he gets to tell us what is the updates on the program. Anyway, Comrade Emmanuel Obidi, how does the NSC strike, and of course the updates, how do you react to it? Let's start from there.
Okay, I think in a democratic setting like Nigeria, strike and industrial actions from workers and labor unions is not a new thing. It's a way of ventilating their grievances, either to authorities at the local government, state or federal level, or even their employees. It is within their rights to engage on a civil protests by way of either going for a strike action, but within the ambit of the law. And when you look at the reasons why the NSC have embarked on this strike, they said, one, to tell government and engage government to wake up to their responsibility. And to me, what is wrong with that? As a matter of fact, the government in this country must wake up to its responsibility. And two, they also said that the #1 worker in the country, the president of the NSC, was beaten, battered by a government orchestrated thugs and the instrumentality of Nigeria police force aiding same in Imo State.
That's what the NSC said.
And which is glaring to the public. And to me, What is wrong with that? As a matter of fact, the country is bleeding. Nigerians are suffering. Aso Rock should feel the pains of the masses. Aso Rock should feel the pains of the people. Because it's as if the government of the day is so insensitive to the plight. And nobody cares. If people are dying, no roads in the country, no food, the country was declared the poverty capital of the world, nothing is being done. In this same country, our government told us that there is corruption in fuel subsidy, and they removed the subsidy instead of removing the corruption in the subsidy, throwing Nigeria into untold hardship. You cannot buy fuel anymore, 700, and even in some places almost hitting 1,000 naira in the interiors. How do locals survive? How do small business survive in such an economy? In all of this imbroglio, we have a government that is pushing billions of naira into buying vehicles for legislators who are looting the people dry.
Okay, Comrade, let me pause you because already we have a Comrade, Chief Comrade Ojon Olaye already on the line so that he joins us as we get along on the program this morning. Yes, don't forget the program is still this morning on ITV. Still trying to, we thought we had him a while ago, so let's see how we can reconnect back to Comrade Ojon Olaye now. And so that we ask him one or two questions. Yes, hello, Comrade, hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Evans.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay. All right, so your strike has entered day 2, and we understand that 19 more affiliate bodies have joined the strike as at 4 p.m. yesterday. That's the West African time now. Now, just this morning, the governor-elect of Imo State, and of course the governor of Imo State now, talking about Hope Uzodinma, tendered an official apology to the management of NSC. And at least I know that that was one of the major demands that NSC demanded for, that the way your president was mishandled should be apologized. You demanded for that now. Now, with this latest development now, will it kind of make the NSC to shield its sword, as it were?
Thank you, Evans. The apology of Hope, you are talking about the governor of Imo State. I am not aware of that. But I know I watched him yesterday in one of the national TV when he didn't tender apology. But if he have tender apology this morning, according to you, I didn't know. And the point we are now, if he tender apology, I don't think that one will solve the problem. Because the problem have escalated to other areas. You know, we have an agreement with the federal government, about 15-16 point agreement. No one they do out of the whole agreement. Okay, upon that line, we were to go on strike nationwide based on that. But this one, the NEC in session asked the president of Nigeria Labour Congress, AJAERO, to lead the protest, a warning protest to Imo State. When we come back from Imo State, before we embark on nationwide strike, based on the agreement we have with the federal government that they didn't meet up to, even so many other things they didn't meet up to the demand. So this one we have now, not only hope to only for hope to tender apology. The commissioner of that police in that state, we want him transfer away from there. Apart from this beating of AJAERO, he has been the one, is the senior talk of Hope Uzodinma, the governor of
All right, so connection always yeah. Hello. All right.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Just speak on. Yeah, hello.
So, like I was saying, the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, is the chief top to the governor of Imo State Command.
Yeah, but
And for that reason,
yeah, Chief, let us be careful.
When it comes to the terms of AJAERO, it must be transferred away from Imo.
Yeah, Chief Olaye.
The IGP said it will be removed from Imo State during the election, and after then it will come back. And the SA that is always leading the talk, the second commander of the
Okay, just also still trying to reestablish a connection there.
the federal government should not do the needful after the agreement we have with the federal government. So if the federal government come out and do the needful about the agreement we have and they tender apology in a genuine manner, we will lead the strike.
Okay.
And do our normal business.
Let me just react to some of the things you said. You said that the Commissioner of Police in Imo State is the #1 talk of Governor Hope Uzodimma. We'll take that as an allegation now, but let us look at it proper. We understand that the Inspector General of Police has started investigation into what transpired in Imo State some few days ago. I mean, one would have thought that the NSC would have waited for the outcome of the investigation before embarking on strike. That is one question. And another, there was also an industrial court injunction that actually barred the NSC from embarking on the strike. So with all these two situations, how come the NSC still went on strike?
Okay, thank you very much. As for the Inspector General of Police, the day this incident happened, the Inspector General of Police was in Imo State. As at the time the Commissioner of Police took our President AJAERO away from the Secretariat of Nigeria Labour Congress in Imo State, the General Secretary of Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Emmanuel Ogbaja, called Inspector General of Police. Inspector General of Police did not pick his call, sent him a text message. He did not reply. Emmanuel Ogbaja has to call Rubado, who is the National Security Advisor to Mr. President. It was Rubado who now called Inspector General of Police and tell him that the General Secretary of Nigeria Labour Congress have called you. You didn't pick. Send you a message, you didn't reply. You should release the President of Nigeria Labour Congress now. If the man died, you will be responsible. That was how the Inspector General of Police now called the Commissioner of Police before they release AJAERO. So why at that same day, we make the whole world to understand that the Inspector General, the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, was the one who drove to the Secretariat of Nigeria Labour Congress and took AJAERO away. At the same time, we also complain of the special advisor to the governor of Imo State, who also led the talk why the Commissioner of Police gave them a backing. Why did the Inspector General of Police not took up the matter since then and start investigating?
All right, Chief Olaye.
Why is it that? That's for that. Your second question, the courts. If you remember, immediately the fuel subsidy removal, then we said we were going on strike. They said they took us to court. We'll say we will go whether they like it or not. After they call for a peace talk, some of the reason we gave them that they should withdraw that case. and they withdraw it. Okay, it was 2 weeks ago that we give this 5 conditions, otherwise we'll go to a strike. We said that on Wednesday. On Friday, you come up with a court injunction restraining the Congress for going to a strike. We are all Nigerians. We'll go to this strike. If they want to kill all of us, let them come and kill.
Nobody's going to kill any person.
The God Almighty will intervene.
Yeah, no, I mean, God does not have any business in this now. This is purely Nigerian issue. So it needs the attention and the effort of Nigerians to attend to this issue. Yeah, but comrade, just before, Chifolaye, before we let you go so that we can attend to the guest here. Now, you have said that it was the Commissioner of Police that arrested your president, but we also read that the Commissioner of Police had to intervene at that point. I mean, giving some form of security to Comrade AJAERO at that scenario, because if the Commissioner of Police had probably left him, maybe Comrade AJAERO would have gotten more injured the way he did. Don't you think so? Is it the fact that he was necessarily arrested, or he was given some form of security?
You see in AJAERO face was not given to him at the Union Secretariat. It was given to him after the Commissioner of Police have arrested him.
No, that may not be correct now.
The Commissioner of Police arrested him from there in presence of, in the midst of other members, take him away,
so what?
Hand over him to the special advisor on, I don't know, what is advising the governor of the state for.
Are you?
The special advisor who now hand over him to his talks for beating inside government house.
Well, we take that as an allegation because the special advisor is not here, and the Commissioner of Police of Imo State is also not here, because we do not believe. Personally, I'm not supposed to have my opinion on this now, but we'll take that as an allegation now that it was the Commissioner of Police that actually handed Comrade AJAERO to talk so that he will be beaten. So we'll take that as an allegation. We are going to pause you, Comrade Odionlaye. We'll pause you for the meantime so that we can return to our guest here on set, and we'll return back to you. Is that okay, sir?
Okay, pause me, but let me see you online.
Okay,
so
no problem.
I can be hearing the conversation of other guests.
All right, then. All right, so Comrade Imaobidi, we still have you now. Now, how can you really best describe the situation now? Because there is a kind of an impunity factor that is brewing, that is probably making members of the NSC to say that, look, not until this impunity issue is dealt with, we're not going to ask our workers to go back to work.
Yes, I think to a very large extent, you cannot tell someone you are beaten not to cry. As a matter of fact, the extent with which they cry is to the extent with which how much you're beating has had a grave effect on them. NSC is crying out because of the battery, the insult that was given to the #1 worker in the whole of the country, in the person of the president of the NSC chairman. If it were to be in a state, if it were to be in a system where we still have dignity of labor, where we still respect the workforce, as I would describe as the goose that lays the golden egg, somebody like Joe AJAERO arriving at Imo State for an official assignment that has to do with the workforce. If somebody like the Commissioner of Police cannot deny the fact that he's not aware of his presence,
but don't you think? Before you come, but don't you think that Joe AJAERO was also wrong? I mean, to have been there at that time.
It's not
knowing the political situation in the state at the time. You are calling for a protest when election is just a few days around. Don't you think it's only natural for the governor to begin to see you that you have some political interest?
No. Okay, let's even assume that Joe AJAERO is a member of an opposition political party who wants to do a rally or a protest. For example, he should be killed, he should be beaten, blue black. Let's even assume he's an opponent to Hope Uzodinma. let alone being a labor union leader. If you are alleged that he is taking side with your opponent because of the election that is at stake, he wants to use that as an advantage, engage him constructively, counter the effect of his protest. It's also an avenue. When they protest, it's also an avenue for you to also address the Imo State people and tell them the other side of the story. But stopping him from protesting, which is his fundamental human right, the freedom of expression, is against the law. It amounts to executive rascality, which we see in government at all levels today, and which even the federal government has also taken advantage of. Because if you see, after that Imo State saga, the presidency today did not condemn that incident, which is a bad precedent for anybody to look at.
No, you cannot say that the presidency did not condemn this. The whole situation, the extent that Comrade AJAERO was beaten, nobody liked that. But also, let us look at it now. Now, when it was reported that it was the Imo State governor that aided the beating, the presidency had to set a motion of investigation through the Inspector General of Police.
No.
So but you know, but
now let me disagree.
Let me say this. Is the IG inspecting the situation?
Let me say this. Yeah. Let me say this. Mr. President is the Chief Security Officer, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That's correct.
Breach of peace and insecurity anywhere within the Nigeria state is a concern to the federal government and by extension Mr. President.
Now, who will the president
with all of the bogus all of the bogus appointments around Mr. President in media aid, media this, media that, who are fast to respond to political issue and condemn opponents, would have immediately, whether Mr. President is investigating or not, take a stand to condemn in its entirety the brutality of a Nigerian, at least. Let's not say an NSC president. That is even a Nigerian.
That you mean that they didn't come to the media to speak against it?
Of
is that
course,
what you mean by condemning?
A statement. The NSC president is a national figure, whether you like him or not, whether you criticize him or not, whether he's your friend. He represents the entire workforce. For everybody who is a worker, who believes in dignity of labor, who believes that Nigerians should not be looted to get wet, that Nigerians should work to get their money. That is what he represents. It is only looters and killers that will not condemn such acts and brutal force on the #1 worker in a nation and in a democratic setting like this.
Okay.
Having said that, Mr. President, through his aid or by any means, we first of all condemn it, and then you raise up an investigation. How do you investigate an issue in Imo State concerning and bordering on the police, involving the commissioner of police, and first you are not stepping him down? If you have transferred him because of the election and you want to investigate the activities around his office, you first of all step him down from the office and then you investigate.
Now, in as much as we condemn the way Comrade AJAERO was
the president has not condemned it. You know why? Because the president feels the Imo State has been able to do what they could not do.
Yeah, can I say
AJAERO has held the presidency to a large extent and several protests against the federal government. And the Imo State governor was able to engage him and beat him mercilessly. Perhaps the federal government is in sympathy or in alliance with what the Imo State governor has done.
Beautiful.
And they did not condemn it, which is wrong. And there's no precedence to the country.
We all condemn it. Nobody likes it. But again,
the presidency has not condemned it.
Yeah, let us do things in a certain way that it will look as if maybe the presidency is on one side. Because what happened is more or less a case of accusation, a case of counter-accusation, if you like now. Now, what you're saying that the commissioner of police for Imo State should step aside, that is only a demand. I mean, the NSC chairman is online now. We're going to get back to him. It became a demand of the labor movement after their president was treated that way. So you expected the president to now heed to their demand? I mean, it would look as if, okay, that the president was taking side. So I think, in my opinion now, popular opinion, the president did what he ought to have done by letting the IG of police to investigate into the matter. I think that's the way it has to be.
Okay, now let me come in this way. It's not just about the demand of the NSC. The civil society and Nigerians, and of course, indeed, Imo State workers, who are stakeholders in all of this, also had their views on this matter.
But do you know that you might not have a clear on the same page. Sir, we understand that Imo workers are not on strike.
Now, I'm coming. You see, you might not have a clear understanding of the scenario of what transpired in Imo State. As a comrade, as a civil society activist who believe in engaging authorities at various levels for the liberation of our people, we have at several occasions been victim of circumstances and all what have you of what you see in Imo State, so we can understand what transpired. We have led a protest in these states, okay, against government policies. And while we were on protest ground, we saw talks, pro-government talks, giving the backing of Nigeria police force to brutalize protesters, leaders of civil societies. And that was done. You know, seeing them, you will feel that, oh, because the police are here, you have cover, at least the police are here. You see pro-government group come out with machetes, ammunitions, and all what have you, entered into protesters, peaceful protesters, to brutalize them.
Okay.
And that day, I could remember while they were doing this, police were standing, looking and watching helplessly without doing anything.
Okay, so let's go back to Comrade Olaye now, who is on the line. Hello, Chief Olaye. Hello? Hello, Comrade. Hello, Comrade Olaye. All right, so we just re-established our contact with Comrade Olaye now, who is still right there. Yes, we want to get more of his reactions, particularly that we understand that workers in Imo State are not even on strike. I mean, most workers in Nigeria are on strike, as it were. Hello, Comrade. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. All right, so the information reaching us in the media is that Imo State workers are not on strike. I mean, why other workers in the country are on strike? Those people concerned, I mean, they are going about their normal duty. How do you want to respond to this, Chief Olaye?
Thank you. First and foremost, let me thank Comrade Ogwiti, who summoned courage to speak as a comrade. Ogwiti, the Lord is your strength.
Thank you.
The Imo State worker, as I speak with you, they are on strike. If any person is saying they are not on strike, that person is deceiving himself, not the workers.
Yeah, we just, having lots of connectivity issue there. All right, so we just see how we can reconnect back to Comrade Olaye now as we get along on this show this morning. Yes, looking at the issues between the NSC and, of course, the federal government. The TUC is also involved in this now. And we, just like what we said a while ago. All right, so while we wait for Chief Olaye to come to this issue. Now, we were trying to look at the Imo State workers.
Yes, what I was saying is this. Where was the Nigeria Police Force Imo State Command when these talks?
Okay, I think we have him back now. Yeah, hello, Chief. Hello. Okay, so just go on the Imo workers. Yeah, hello?
Yes, like I said, I commend my colleague that is with you there, Comrade Ogbidi, for the way Amana he has spoke on this issue. He tell me he has updates. He has been following the matter from the one. The issue of that the workers in Imo State did not strike. That one is completely lie. They strike.
Yeah, but that's what we read. That's what we read on the media.
They are on strike as I speak with you. Listen, the governor is always bringing the other side by way of saying Nigeria Labour Congress, TUC, they are supporting his government. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. You will remember 7th of March 2023 when we want to do the state delegates conference across the 36 states, including Federal Capital Territory. This same governor of Imo State sponsor a dissident group. They say they are doing their election, which the national body of Nigeria Labour Congress refused to recognize. After then, the May Day, we decided the workers in Imo State decided to do the May Day, to celebrate the May Day in their secretariat, because he refused to give them the stadium. He also mobilized his son to go to that place and fight them. And so he did not recognize them. So the workers in Imo State, they are on strike.
So in all of this now, Chief Olaye, how do we go about it? I mean, day 2 of the strike, there's no doubt that the impact of the strike is huge. I mean, offset, I was just, explaining how I was in a bank yesterday. As at 9:32 a.m., the bank stopped paying. And it was as if the bank was giving huge amounts of money. They could only give 10,000, 15,000, and I think about the highest was about 20,000. So most banks have shut their doors against their customers. So where do we go from here?
Yes, thank you very much. I've earlier explained what is going to solve the issue. If like my comrade there, Willie was saying, let the federal government come out change.
All right. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go on quickly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Let the federal government come out sincerely to apologize to the organized labor.
Yeah, but there's an investigation. There's an investigation that the federal government has started.
Trade Union Congress. And at the same time, let us meet up to the demand. Let them meet up to the demand of the organized labor. The 15-point agreement.
All right, because of, yeah.
That's the only thing that can solve the problem.
Okay. All right, so thank you. So let's return back to set now so that we can have... Now, Comrade Ogbidi, I think in all of all this now, don't you think this whole thing may need a third-person factor? Because from the look of things, NSC is not ready to take a position. They're not ready to move. And the federal government, though, they have started a process by asking the IG to investigate. But don't you think there should be a third-party factor to intervene in all of all this?
Now, let's look at it from this angle. Let me just land on the aspect of the police. From the side of the police at Imo State, from what they said, that they only came into the scene to rescue Joe AJAERO to a protective custody. Ordinarily, that does not make sense to a logical thinking. The question is this. You are aware that the NSC will be having a peaceful rally or call it a protest that day. Okay? The police must have been notified. You don't need to take permission from the police to protest. by Nigerian law, there is freedom of expression, but you protest or you do your procession within the ambit of the law.
Yeah, but
you only notify them. Yes, notification.
Yeah.
You notify them probably for security coverage, and that is the purpose. Now, the question is, where were you when the plans to batter or to invade that protest was orchestrated?
Now, is it on record?
Where were the Nigerian police when those thugs came into the secretariat? Where were the Nigerian police when they battered and beat all the executive and those that were gathered? Where were the Nigerian police when those injuries were inflicted on him? So after all of those things were done, they now came to rescue him. Or that make sense? If the person of the Nigeria, the NSC chairman had died that day, what would have been hearing in Nigeria police force or in the media would have been unknown gunmen in Imo State, unknown gunmen, God forbid. That would have been the story today.
All right, so
but thank God he's allowed to tell the story to the whole world by himself.
Yeah.
What we are saying is that in this country there should be consequences for actions, no matter how highly placed an individual is, government or institutions. There should be consequences in our actions in this country. It is because there is no consequence in our actions. That is why anybody can do anything and they will go away with it.
All right,
it has happened in several places before, and that is why we say an injury to one is an injury to all. Because it is Joe AJAERO today. Tomorrow it can be Evans Unogoge.
Yeah.
For engaging authorities for what is right and what is proper.
Okay, so the third person factor that we are looking at now, because some have also said that perhaps top echelons from the clergy may have to come into the situation because, I mean, Nigeria cannot afford, I mean, a country that is battling with economic issues, I mean, trying to revive itself from economic issues and all that, we cannot afford to be on strike right now. That's what we're saying.
No.
So that third person factor, where should he come from?
Now, this is it. The question is, those who would have loved to intervene cannot even trust the federal government. You know, it's a very big problem when the government has gotten to a point where its citizens cannot trust them. Look at ASU strike. What has orchestrated ASU strike for over years? Agreement not honored. Agreement promise not kept. What is necessitating one of the points necessitating the NSC strike today? Agreement entered. You know, they went for a 2 weeks warning strike. I could remember that protest. I was part of it.
And they gave a 30-day ultimatum.
And they gave a 30 days ultimatum.
Yeah, but
that they were going to look into all of the issues.
Yeah, and
that was what led to the pull-out of that strike.
You can say I'm calling you Comrade Joe AJAERO already.
I'm not.
Now, but we understand that the federal government has started a process now in trying to really attend to these, these agreements. Because when federal government says that they are going to do XYZ amount,
yes.
XYZ thing.
Yes.
It is not, it's a process. Now, we're talking about, see, the whole thing rests on money, so to say. It rests on cash, it rests on money. And it has to do with the budget, whether we like it or not. If NSC is saying that minimum wage has to be increased, it's not something that is going to be automatic. It has to be a process. So from the look of things now, from what we read, on the media, and from 1 or 2 moves that the federal government is making, there is a process that the federal government has put in place.
Okay.
So don't you think Labour need to see this process mature, metamorphose before this reactions? Don't you think so?
Now let me take it from what you have just said.
Yeah.
It is very unfortunate that those who said let the poor breathe has taken oxygen from the poor. The poor has no access to oxygen to even breathe. And yet they are the ones who say, let the poor breathe. Those who say, let all of us sacrifice, has not shown an example that they themselves are willing to sacrifice. Put yourself in the position of the Nigerian worker as a civil servant, that you are requesting for a survivor from your boss, a survivor, not luxury, not comfort, survivor, so that you can, so that your take-home pay can even take you to your house. Then you have a government who said let's sacrifice, who said let's be patient, has gone to the international money market, borrowed billions in an economy that is bleeding, and we are looking for how to hemorrhage, how to stop the bleeding. And such amounts, huge amount that is borrowed, is pumped into SUV luxury vehicles for government officials, first lady, and all of that.
Those
160 million for SUV vehicles. And somebody is asking for his take home.
Yeah, I have somebody.
No, I'm taking you from the point you came. If you were to be a worker, because the workforce we're talking about is what brings about the finance, the money that is financing the government. It's what brings about all of the comfort that you have in Aso Rock. If they are not working, they are not laying the golden egg, what will they be eating? So from the sweat of the Nigerian workers, you are buying and purchasing SUVs.
Now, let us
looting and looting,
the issue of the SUV, let us be careful with that, because we understand that it has to do with procurement.
But it is public domain. It is not something that we are manufacturing from this studio.
We know, but
it is within the public domain. Yeah, I'm just asking, if you were to be the Nigerian workers who were asked to be patient, and why you decide to be patient, to see the process being done, and you see the same persons who are telling you to be patient has gone to buy luxury vehicle for their comfort.
We react, but when I get to know that it is not a procurement issue, then I will soft pedal.
Leaders are supposed to be in the forefront in making sacrifice for their followers. Okay, sometimes
let's go
leaders should even discomfort themselves to see that the followers are comfortable.
Okay, let's go back to
the NSC.
Yeah, let's go back to Odion Layi now and ask him one. Yeah, hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
I'm still with you.
Okay, beautiful. Now, for a lot of people, the question that they ask in the media is that whether labor, particularly the labor movement in Edo State, whether it is a political party, because the opinion is that some of these things that labor react to nationally, they are domiciled in Edo State here. But how come we don't find the labor movement reacting to some of these issues in Edo State? Take, for example, you talk about the bad economy in Nigeria. Edo State is not exempted from it, but we've not necessarily seen a situation whereby the labor, pickets government establishments over a bad economy in the state. Comrade Olaye.
You may be seeing it so, but I want to tell you, in the issue of economy of Edo State, any area we quickly see that things are going wrong, we always engage in government. You can go to government house to go and ask. For more than 3 occasions, we have engaged Edo State government. Why this? Why that? Because it does not come out on radio or television or start doing it by way of protest, does not mean that we are silent to it. We are not silent to it, and that's why some of the area we feel the government is also doing well. We see go there to say, okay, thank you. For instance, like the workers, the sack before, I want to, I don't know if you are aware, almost about 30 workers were sacked about 3-4 months ago, but we waited to it, met with the governor, and as I speak with you, they'll be reinstated, and so many things like that. So we does not take a side. It's only like a political interest in Nigeria Labour Congress in Edo State. We are doing our part.
Yeah. What about
to the radio or television, as Avelia said, to make noise over it? It does not mean that we are not working.
Yeah, but what about the lecturers?
We are supposed to do.
Yeah, there are some lecturers. There are some lecturers at the Edo State University, ECOMA now, that were sacked, and we understand that some of them have not been paid. How come the labor in Edo State has not reacted to this?
Yes, that's why I said if we does not make noise about this some of these issues, it does not mean we are not working. The issue of ASU, NASU, PASA in those state University of Epuma, not only there, if you look at the initial stage, they suspended the activities of those unions. Immediately, I didn't even write to the governor that day. Myself, my secretary, and the treasurer of the Congress, we went to government house, write paper and give to the governor that wants to see him. And he asked us to come in. And I brought the issue of this three union while suspending their activities in the school. So we discussed to understand, and I told him I was going to bring the leadership of this three union, and I bring them. And particularly the branch chairman of Epoma University, I asked him to come. He joined us in the discussion, where the governor said, okay, he was going to revise that decision of suspending the activities of the union. That was that's what we asked for. He removed it. The union decided their normal activities in the schools. Then the issue of the payment was always into it, and he has started paying them. The one of that of Epoma University, as I speak with you, we are still handling it, and it's going to, I can assure you, it's going to pay. We have discussed to that extent. Yeah.
What about the SAT workers at the College of Education in Ekeadolo? I mean, it was by this administration, and the administration is on its verge of leaving now. I mean, we didn't see the labor movement in Edo State reacting to that. How come, Chifolayi?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I am the state chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress, where we have about 43 affiliate union, and in those state here, 38 affiliate union exist with my government. The issue of Kiadolo, the workers that was sacked there, nobody has brought it to my notice. There's no Catholic that will be only than the Pope. So I cannot just start discussing issue that is not brought to my table. So the workers there have not reached to my table. Although I come to meet that issue because I listen to TV and radio every day. I know what is happening in the state and the country. I know such a thing is happening there. But the union is supposed to bring Nigeria Labour Congress into the issue. They've not done so.
So they've not done so?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so pending when those unions will do that, the labor in Edo State will swing into action. Is that what you are promising the affected workers on this program this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's area I want to clear, which my brother was talking about, Ima. You see, AJAERO, before he left Abuja to go and lead the protests of Imo State, a week to it, he directed the General Secretary, Emmanuel Obaja, to write to the state governor that we are coming for protest, to write to the Commissioner of Police, we are coming for protest, to write to the Director of DSSS that we are coming for protest. We were in a meeting when that decision was taken. And the reason was that if they write to governor that we are coming for protest, the governor may not say, okay, before this date we say we are coming, he will quickly invite the leaders so that they can discuss one or two things that we are coming to protest for. But they didn't. He didn't respond. The letter written to the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, the acknowledged letter is with us. The letter they acknowledge that they received as something is with us. That of the SSS is with them. It's with them in our headquarters in Abuja. Even the one they acknowledge in government house in Imo State is with them. So we notify the national headquarters notify the authority of Imo State that we are coming for a protest. Only for them to call on how to handle that issue peacefully, they continue to prepare their talks for killing.
All right, so Chifolayi, want to say a very big thank you as you go on the strike now. I want to say a very big thank you We just hope and pray that the strike will be called off as soonest so that we can return back to our normal life. Thank you so much, Chief Olaye. Okay. All right. So I think we got him there. Now, I'll come with one last word.
Yes. Just to add to the third force of intervention that we're talking about.
Resolution now.
Ordinarily, that is how it's supposed to be. But the question now is, who can stake for a federal government as such we have in Nigeria now? Nobody can come out and say, okay, let me mediate because I believe that the federal government will do whatever we have said, because they have a serious precedent of disobeying and disregarding agreement.
Yeah, the court has the court has tried to do that many a time. I mean, the court in Imo worry that gave an injunction, but the NSC did not. They still went on strike.
That is not when you talk about intervention. It's supposed to be a mediation.
That's what was
not by arms of the law or by. It's supposed to be a gentleman agreement.
But by trying to.
You understand? By trying to do that, because the same federal government is the chief culprit in disregarding rule of law in electoral matter, in court injunctions.
You cannot say that.
Let's talk about the several court injunctions and rulings of court. Where some persons have been asked to be bailed,
let's focus more on
the federal government honors such agreements. So there will be nobody. There will be nobody to come out at this time to mediate, because they know if they stand or stake their integrity for the federal government, they cannot trust them. The federal government will not obey that agreement, and that is why we say the NSC, this strike and action that you are seeing is long overdue, in my own opinion. Because when the government fear the people, it is democracy and liberation. So but when the people fear the government, it is tyranny.
So it is a
we must be able, as a citizen, be able to take government and engage authorities. When things are wrong and things are not going well, we should be able to engage them and tell them the truth. Okay. And also hold them by their words. If they have said they will do XYZ in education, they will do XYZ in health, they will do XYZ to our workers, they should keep to their agreement and do same. That is when the people will laud government's initiative, and also that will also give the impetus to our workers to discharge their duties correctly.
Okay, we just hope that it's not another hopeless situation, because from the look of things now, though some moves have started, just like what we said, that the governor of Imo State has tendered his apology, even if the NSC, some leadership, some leaders of the NSC have still saying that they've not seen that apology, but it's on the media, it's on the papers. I read it this morning, so you can Google that. So we just hope, Obidi, that it's not going to be a hopeless situation, because Nigerians, the ordinary Nigerians, will suffer. That's what we're saying here.
The Nigerian government, both federal and even the Imo State governor, is responsible for whatsoever is happening at this time, and they have what it takes to resolve these issues. Okay. It doesn't need to take a process of 6 months. Okay. How long did it take to purchase SUV vehicles for Aso Rock and the rest of them? Okay. So what does it take to settle all of the issues?
All right. So
for example,
thank you.
There's no road, there's no federal government road taking us in Edo State or anywhere.
Even the state roads.
So it should be resolved.
Some of the states.
They have what it takes. They should resolve it. The money is there.
All right. Thank you so much on the program today, this morning on ITV with Evans Sunokoge, where we've had our comrade Emmanuel Obidi, who is the president network of Civil Society Organization of Nigeria, NOCSON. And of course, one guy that always canvas for good governance. That's what he says anytime you see him. That his business is just good governance. He's not a politician.
Not at all.
All right, and also to Chief Comrade Olaye, the chairman of NS in Edo State, we say thank you, sir. Please, we plead with you to please shed your salt so that we can return back to normal life. The program is going to return same time tomorrow on this television, independent television. Until then, goodbye and God bless you.